but he's calling his shot. He's got youth on his side. He's got the reach on his side. He's gonna have to use every centimeter of those 16 centimeters reach that he has.
If he's on tonight, George Mann is in for a world of hurt. Because once Smoking Joe Nattawut pulls the pin on his grenades, there's no escape. The Thai 9 years the elder, look at the whopping height advantage for George Mann. That is phenomenal.
Ladies and gentlemen, this next match is 3 rounds of 3 minutes in a featherweight 1 Super Series Muay Thai contest.
Stands up too quickly, gets a nosebleed. Sell out inside the Singapore Indoor Stadium. It's a 1 Super Series Muay Thai contest. 4 rounds gloves in the cage. Referee Atsushi Onari gets us underway. Smoking Joe Nattawut in the black and gold. George Mann in the red and black. Catch there from George Mann. Can look awkward at times because of his height, but my word, if he gets on song, George Mann can do damage. There's the threaded right hand from Smoking Joe. There's the long-legged front kick from George Mann. So not much of a transition, not much of a time difference to adjust to here. Nor so for the man from Perth, Western Australia, George Mann, very close to Singapore. Good roundhouse kick there off the lead from Mann, and that long-legged front kick again, Mitch.
Man, he's a giant out there. Look at him. He is 194 centimeters at 70 kilos. He's just, and he's also on a southpaw stance, which makes him even more awkward and unorthodox.
Very tall George Mann.
And the legs end at like the middle of Nattawut's waist. It's so, I mean, his torso is just gigantic. The clinch is not working. He's just having a hard time getting a hold of George Mann's head.
Nattawut has been sparring tall opponents, as tall as he could find in Thailand. Joe Nattawut yet. Nattawut pops the right hand on the inside. Both men look for the knees. Clinching up, and referee Onari breaks the intriguing opening round this one. Cracking inside thigh kick from Smoking Joe, and again to the inside leg. A very effective weapon to use against a southpaw is the inside leg kick. Add to that the right hand, and that's a killer arsenal. Inside leg kick again, and look at the reddening on the lead thigh of George Mann. It looks like his leg is sunburned. There's Smoking Joe's power from the right hand. George Mann, the step-through knee, the final 10 seconds of what's been a cracker of an opening round. Cuts off the footwork, jab there from Mann. We go to the towels at the end of 1. For George Mann to find opponents, particularly down in Australia, because he is so awkward to compete against. This tall figure with this incredible reach in his legs and his arms and these very sharp elbows and knees. He's really hard to handle.
He is. He's very difficult. But you can see Nattawut's starting to find the spot, and that seems to be that leg kick.
Rules contest. They can lock the grapple as long as they like, provided they knee or elbow continually. The work rate has to be sustained, or the referee will separate them. Nice little dump there from Smoking Joe Nattawut. Good spin around on that. Mann was lining up left elbow, and Joe stunned him with that leg kick. Checks the low kick there, this man. Joe Nattawut is unleashing fire to the legs of George Mann. There by Smoking Joe.
Landed a nice knee in the earlier exchange, but he hasn't really been as active as I'd like. He's letting kind of Joe walk forward, clinch up, and then he's just sort of reacting. He's not thinking ahead. He's not planning on these things.
You see, George is going for the clinch around the body of Joe. What he wants to do with his reach is get a hold of that head, pull it down into the rising knee, and try and crack Joe on the jaw with the knee. But he's not doing that, and Joe's confidence, I feel, is building.
Joe's coming forward and just throwing the leg kicks.
Only having snowboarded. That's how incredible Smoking Joe is. Here we go.
Anytime, any place, let's go.
Straight off the slopes and into the ring. Great sportsmanship. That respect, that martial arts code of honor. That's so apparent here in 1 Super Series. 3rd and final round. Smoking Joe and the Tower of Power, George Mann. Left hook to a right hand to a clinch here from Joe.
I think Joe Nattawut's got to take it up a level, because right now all he's doing is scoring with that leg kick, and he said he does not want to go to a decision. He doesn't want it to go to the hands of the judge.
Oh, smack back! Smack back! Smack back! George Mann does a quick count of his teeth. That was Smoking Joe on fire, pulling the pin on the grenade.
He's got to do more of that if he doesn't want to take this to a decision, which he might win at this point. But if he wants the knockout, he has to do more of that.
Joe comes forward, launches a roundhouse kick to the rib cage. There's the catch, there's no counter, and referee Olinari cautions George Mann. You cannot hold on to that leg for an extended time. You catch it, you've got to strike. Nice turnaround there from Smoking Joe Mitch.
He's just stalling at that point, because there it goes right there.
Oh, the right hand! Here's on the leg! Here comes Smoking Joe! Here comes the power! Here comes the pain! Smoking Joe explodes! The elbow! Man's almost down on his feet! Look at the hematoma! Look at the hematoma! That thing's huge! My word! That thing's huge! Smoking Joe damaged George Mann! How is he still standing? A massive hematoma on Mann!
Oh, that elbow just grew some gremlins grown out of the side of George Mann's head.
Oh, this one's over! Surely it's going to be over soon! How is Mann standing? The ticking time bomb has exploded! Smoking Joe Nattawut lights up Singapore!
How tough is Mann? How tough is George Mann? He's still in it.
Pandemonium! And a big jump! The boom shakalaka from Smoking Joe! The doctor's going to look at it. They may wave this one off. I think it's going to be over.
Lord.
Oh, he's got a second hit.
Look at this flurry that was just unloaded on George Mann. As Joe Nattawut just,
Oh, he's going to go on. George Mann's going to go on. This is amazing. This is pandemonium. Joe Nattawut comes forward. George Mann's going to knock him down. He's going to knock Nattawut down for any chance to win this. Oh, Nattawut, look at the power. Look at the ferocity. George Mann has taken a shellacking. He's going to knock Nattawut down for any chance to win this.
All three judges have called this bout in favor of your winner by unanimous decision from the blue corner, Smoking Joe Nattawut.
Look at the respect, integrity, the honor, the Bushido martial arts code.